Ladies and gentlemen, in a world filled with masks and facades, truly understanding a person's character can feel like an impossible task. We live in a time where appearances are carefully curated, words are crafted for effect, and actions are often performed for the applause of others. But beneath all of that lies something far more important: true character. Character is not about what you say you stand for, it's about what you actually do when it matters most. And if you want to see someone's true character, you don't need to look at their resume, their social media feed, or even the way they carry themselves in public. No, all you need to do is pay attention to 5 things. The first thing is how they treat those with less power. You want to know who someone truly is? Watch how they interact with a waiter, a janitor, or a struggling colleague. Do they treat these individuals with dignity and respect, or do they see them as invisible, as beneath their notice? A person who only respects those who can offer them something is not showing strength, it's a weakness disguised as ambition. True character lies in kindness, in recognizing the humanity in everyone, regardless of their status or situation. Second, notice how they handle adversity. Life will test all of us, and in those moments of struggle, we reveal who we truly are. When the pressure is on, do they cling to their principles or do they sacrifice them for convenience? Do they face their challenges head on, or do they shift blame and avoid accountability? Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. The third thing is what they do when no one is watching. This is where the essence of integrity resides. Are they honest in the small, unnoticed moments? Do they do the right thing even when there's no reward, no applause? Character isn't about grand gestures, it's about the quiet consistency of one's actions, especially when the spotlight is off. Fourth, listen to how they speak about others. Words matter, and the way someone talks about other people, especially those who aren't present, says more about them than the people they're discussing. Are they quick to criticize, to belittle, to gossip? Or do they speak with empathy, fairness, and understanding? A kind word in someone's absence is far more telling than a compliment given to their face. The fifth thing is how they react to success and failure. Success is intoxicating, but it can also be revealing. Does it make someone arrogant, dismissive, or self-centered? Or do they remain grounded, gentle? There's an old adage that says you can easily judge the character of a person by how they treat those who can do nothing for them at first glance. This might seem like a simple observation, but its implications are profound. The way someone treats individuals with less power, those who cannot offer them wealth, status, or influence, reveals more about their character than how they interact with equals or superiors. It is in these interactions, free from the expectations of reciprocity, where the truth of a person's nature is laid bare. Think about the small, seemingly insignificant moments in daily life. How does someone treat the waiter at a restaurant, the receptionist at an office, or the janitor in a building? Do they acknowledge these individuals with respect and kindness, or do they brush them aside as though they're invisible? These encounters may seem trivial to some, but they speak volumes about a person's character. In a world often obsessed with hierarchies, power dynamics are deeply ingrained in how people interact. Many individuals reserve their best behavior for those they perceive as equals or superiors, people who can influence their opportunities or enhance their status. They are polite to their bosses, deferential to influential figures, and complimentary to those they want to impress. But true character is not about performing kindness where it is beneficial. It's about being kind where it is optional, where there is no tangible reward for doing so. A person who respects everyone, regardless of their position, demonstrates a fundamental understanding of equality, that every individual deserves dignity, not because of what they can provide, but simply because they are human. Unfortunately, some individuals use power imbalances to assert dominance. This can manifest in subtle ways like condescending tones, dismissive gestures, or outright rudeness. In more extreme cases, it leads to exploitation, where those with less power are manipulated, belittled, or taken advantage of because they lack the means to resist or retaliate. This behavior reveals insecurity masquerading as strength. When people mistreat others with less power, it often stems from their own need to feel superior. Instead of building their character through humility and empathy, they attempt to elevate themselves by stepping on others. This is not strength, it is weakness in disguise. Consider the quiet acts of kindness we witness or experience. The stranger who offers a smile to a struggling retail worker, the manager who takes the time to thank the janitorial staff, or the busy professional who shows patience and understanding to a trainee learning the ropes. These moments might seem small, but they are deeply impactful, both for the recipient and for the one who extends kindness. Treating those with less power with dignity reflects a deeper sense of self-awareness and gratitude. It shows that a person understands their privileges and does not wield them as a weapon. Instead, they use their position, however modest or significant it may be, to uplift others and create an environment of respect. How someone treats those with less power is a direct reflection of their core values. Do they value compassion, fairness, and equality, or are they driven by self-interest and a desire for control? These values, or the lack thereof, ripple outwards, shaping the relationships they form and the communities they influence. Leaders in particular bear a heightened responsibility in this regard. A leader who respects and values the contributions of everyone, from the most senior executive to the most junior staff member, fosters trust and loyalty. Conversely, a leader who disrespects or ignores those they deem less important creates a culture of fear and resentment. This principle transcends cultures, professions, and social settings. Across the world, the way people treat those with less power is a universal measure of integrity. Whether it's a wealthy individual interacting with someone experiencing homelessness, a teacher working with a struggling student, or a customer dealing with a cashier, these moments reveal the same truth. Character is not about what we have, but about how we treat those who have less. Ultimately, how we treat others leaves a lasting impression, not just on them, but on the world around us. Acts of kindness, especially towards those with less power, create ripples that can transform environments, challenge inequities, and inspire others to do the same. In the end, the power dynamics that seem so significant today will fade. Titles, wealth, and status will mean little in the grand scheme of life. What will endure is the legacy of how we made others feel. Were we kind? Were we fair? Did we treat others with dignity, no matter their position? To see someone's true character, watch how they treat those who can do nothing for them. This is where authenticity shines, where values are laid bare, and where humanity is at its most honest. Let us strive to be the kind of people who, in every interaction, choose compassion over condescension, respect over dismissal, and humanity over hierarchy. True character is revealed in the moments when the world is not looking. It is not in the grand gestures performed for applause, nor in the carefully curated actions designed to impress others. Instead, it emerges in the quiet, unobserved choices a person makes when there is no audience, no judgment, and no immediate reward. What someone does when no one is watching is perhaps the purest expression of their values, integrity, and authenticity. In private moments, people are free from the external pressures of societal expectations or the need to maintain an image. These moments strip away pretense, leaving behind only the essence of who they truly are. For instance, a person may outwardly display generosity by donating to charity in public, but what do they do when no one is there to witness their actions? Do they still give, still show kindness, still act selflessly when no one is around to commend them? These unacknowledged acts of virtue are the truest test of character. Imagine someone who finds a wallet on an empty street. No one else is around to see what they will do. At that moment, the decision they make to return the wallet or keep it for themselves is not influenced by social pressure or fear of judgment. It is entirely their own, and it reflects their moral compass. A person who returns the wallet without hesitation is guided by principles that exist independently of recognition. Their integrity operates as a constant, not as a function of who might be watching. Similarly, how someone treats their responsibilities in solitude speaks volumes about their character. Take, for example, an employee working remotely, free from the direct supervision of their manager. The temptation to slack off or cut corners is strong when accountability is minimal. Yet, those who remain disciplined and committed to their tasks demonstrate a deep sense of responsibility and self-respect. They understand that their work ethic should not depend on external oversight, but on an internal drive to honor their commitments. What people do in private also reflects their capacity for kindness and compassion. Consider someone who, in the privacy of their home, takes time to care for a stray animal, volunteers anonymously, or writes letters of encouragement to others without ever revealing their identity. These acts of goodness are not performed for accolades, but because they stem from a genuine desire to make a positive impact. In these moments, their humanity is at its most authentic, untainted by the need for validation. In contrast, the absence of an audience can sometimes reveal less admirable traits. When no one is watching, some people may feel emboldened to act in ways they would never consider publicly. This could manifest as dishonesty, cruelty, or a disregard for ethical boundaries. For example, someone might speak eloquently about honesty and integrity in public, but cheat on a test or manipulate others when they believe they won't get caught. These actions carried out in the shadows highlight the disparity between their proclaimed values and their true character. Private actions are also a reflection of how individuals treat themselves. Self-discipline, self-care, and the pursuit of personal growth often occur away from the public eye. A person who spends time reading, learning, or reflecting in solitude demonstrates a commitment to bettering themselves even when no one else is there to recognize their efforts. They understand that the process of becoming the best version of oneself is a deeply personal journey, not a performance for others. On the other hand, neglecting oneself in private, succumbing to destructive habits, or failing to address personal challenges can indicate a lack of self-awareness or a disconnect between external appearances and internal realities. It is often easier to maintain a facade of competence or happiness in public, but true strength lies in facing one's struggles head-on, even in the absence of an audience. What someone does when no one is watching also reveals their priorities. In moments of solitude, people are free to choose how they spend their time, unencumbered by obligations or societal demands. Some may prioritize personal pleasures or relaxation, while others dedicate themselves to pursuits that align with their long-term goals or values. A person who uses their free time to help others hone their skills or contribute to a cause they care about is someone whose actions align with a higher purpose. This alignment between private behavior and personal values is a hallmark of integrity. Moreover, the consistency between private and public behavior is a defining characteristic of authenticity. A person who behaves with kindness, honesty, and responsibility both in public and in private is someone whose character can be trusted. They are not putting on a show for the world, they are simply living according to their principles, regardless of who might be watching. This consistency builds trust not just with others but also within oneself. When someone knows they are living authentically, they experience a sense of inner peace and self-respect that cannot be achieved through performance alone. However, living authentically is not always easy. It requires courage to act in accordance with one's values, especially when there is no external validation. In a world where appearances often take precedence over substance, choosing to do the right thing in private can feel lonely or even futile. Yet, It is precisely in these moments that character is forged. Every private decision to uphold one's principles strengthens the foundation of integrity, making it easier to act ethically in more challenging, visible situations. It is also worth noting that private actions often have far-reaching consequences, even if they seem insignificant at the time. A single act of kindness or honesty in solitude can create ripples that influence others in profound ways. For example, a person who chooses to return a lost wallet may inspire the wallet's owner to act with similar integrity in their own life. Similarly, a small act of kindness performed in private may set off a chain reaction of positivity that extends far beyond what the individual could have imagined. Ultimately, the measure of a person's character lies not in what they do for applause or recognition, but in what they do when no one else is around. These unobserved moments are where authenticity is born, where values are tested, and where true humanity is revealed. While public actions may shape how others perceive us, it is our private choices that define who we truly are. They are the foundation upon which trust, integrity, and respect are built, both in the eyes of others and in our own hearts.